All right, so today we're talking about Microtech 3 controller, more specifically the temperature sensors that are landed on a Microtech 3. Your discharge air temperature sensor, which comes as an accessory with this controller in the unit, as well as your outdoor air temperature and your return air temperature. All three of those sensors are landed here on the end of the Microtech. You can see the orange plug at the bottom. That is my 24-volt power. And here at the top, I have three contacts. Now, if I turn this sideways, you can actually see that these are, maybe I can zoom in a little bit there. There we go. One says analog input. M is basically your common, analog input 2, analog input 3. 1, 2, 3. All three of these temperature sensors. What does it look like on my Microtech? Well, if I push the button on it, you can see right there, the 74 degrees, 75 degrees. If I unplug my plug and I look at it now, notice that all my values go into the negative, right? And that's because, again, I've removed my temperature sensor. So if there's anything you remember about the Microtech 3, this is just a small series of individual inputs and outputs of the Microtech 3 controller that I'll be making videos about. But here in the top-hand side is my temperature sensors. Now, what kind of temperature sensors go in the Microtech? That's actually a 10K ohm thermistor on a sliding scale. So now that I plug this back in again, Bob's your uncle, and now we're back to 74, 75. I put these thermistors in my hand. They're going to warm up. Temperature's going to go up or, again, go down. Now, remember that any unit that the Microtech controller is installed in, these wires are landed already from the factory, and they're usually a specific color in the cabinet. Now, they're not going to be the temperature sensors that are landed directly on the controller. More so, they're going to go to a terminal block, right? TB8, TB4, TB5. Remember, the number designation is the terminal block number that you're going to see inside the controls cabinet. So there's going to be a wire that goes from these terminals on top of the Microtech all the way back to that terminal block. But now you understand where they come in at. I can check what? I can check my resistance values here at the Microtech. Now, there's also a screen in the service menu that allows you to go in and look at the resistance values displayed on that controller if you want to troubleshoot those sensors. What does my meter say? What does my controller see? What is the value that is present on my controller? Remember, without temperature sensors, without the accurate temperature sensors, remember, this is my control source here. My control source temp is that 75.3 degrees. If one of these sensors is off or it's installed in the incorrect spot on the ductwork, the unit is going to operate correctly. Remember that the sensors are the eyes of the system, and without it, it can't really function. So see you guys on the next one.